Hmm.
Okay, group one.
Oke,
Nelson.
Assalamualaikum
Okay.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Yes, I hope today was a great day for all of you. I am Kansa Aura, and these are our group members. There are Olivia Mutiara Hamida, Nafija Seliozaki, Inshira Ananda, Muhammad Naufal Izul, and me myself, Kansa Aura. So please allow us to present our discussion. Next slide, please. So, this is overview from blending. Lexical blending is a word formation process where two or more words are merged into a new single unit, often for creative or practical reasons. The paper explores the theoretical foundations, characteristic, and classification of blends and provides examples to clarify how they function within the English language. Okay, so the key point of blending is that a blended word is formed by merging parts of two or more source words into one new word, such as smoke, from smoke, and fog. The next is blending versus compounding. Unlike compounding, blending involves partial word overlap and truncation. Truncation itself refers to the act of shortening something either by removing the end or other parts of it. The difference between blending and compounding itself is compounding joins two or more whole words to form a new word with a new meaning. The word can be written as one word, such as notebook, or hyphenated, such as check-in, or separate words, such as living room. In the other words, blending merges parts of two or more words, combining sounds and meanings of an overlapping phonemes. For example, brunch for breakfast and lunch, smoke from smoke and fog, and blends usually take the beginning of one word and the end of another. The next slide will be presented by Via. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kanja. Before I want to uh apologize because I can't turn on my camera because my laptop camera is broken. Last time is broken and I haven't prepared it because the laptop is still used for another task. Okay, the next material is types of blending. The first the first types is o- overlapping, shared phonemes or morphemes. Example, brunch for breakfast and lunch. Partially overlapping, each part is clipped. Example, modem is for modulator and demodulator. Process involved clipping, overlapping, and sometimes phonetic or orthographic adjustments. Second, functions of blends. Enhance brevity, creativity, memorability, and linguistic innovation. So, lexical blending is a dynamic and innovative word formation strategy reflecting the creative evolution of language It plays a significant role in both casual and technical vocabularies and is increasingly common in branding, technology, and media. Next slide, please. Clipping. This study explores the linguistic process called clipping, where one or even more parts are cut off from words, shortening those words without changing their meaning or grammatical role. Clipping is common through English as well as informal conversation. Therefore, it often becomes part of everyday language. Clipping makes longer words shorten, short segment or syllable deletion, often polysyllabic. It also keeps the core meaning and word class. Speaking now can be faster and more effective. It turns casual it turns casual and even lighthearted too. Language can reflect both creatively as well as social identity. Next slide, please. There are 4 types of clipping. The first is for clipping. Cut the beginning. Telephone to phone. Alligator together. Helicopter to copter. And the second, back clipping or cut the end. As in advertisement to ad. Gymnasium to gym. Laboratory to lab. The third, middle clipping, cut the beginning and the end. As in influenza to flu, madam to ma'am. And the last is complex clipping. As in the science fiction to skiffy. Situation comedy to sitcom, cable telegram to cablegram. And next material will be presented by Inshira.
Okay, thank you, Olivia. So the patterns and functions. First, the pattern, not random cuts. It follows recognizable patterns, usually keeps the syllables under stress or the most distinctive part. Shortened words for ease of use are typically 1 or 2 syllables. Function, speed and efficiency in speech, informality and friendliness, jargon that use professionals such as slang for youth and identity of group, linguistic creativity and playfulness. Next. Shakespeare word coining. Shakespeare is often seen as a creative genius who invented a lot of new words or word coining. Many people think of him as having a huge impact on the language. He often made up unusual and creative phrases like but and of a mother blessing from Richard III, summer seamless from Macbeth, flashman of this dread exploit from King Lear, to live unwaintained in a secure couch from Othello, paddling palms and pinching fingers virginally or upon his palm from the Winter's Tale, and the last under Pip her lids by from Cymbeline. Next, the impact and influence, use of language. Shakespeare's use of language feels unnatural and exciting. These kinds of phrases are clear and powerful, and people still understand them today. Reputation. People love to quote how many words he supposedly coined, and it's over 1,700 words. This reputation comes largely from how often the Oxford English Dictionary lists him as the first to use certain words. Next. And the next slide will be read by Nafa.
Thank you, Inshira. So now, conclusion. Shakespeare's influence on the language is significant, with many of his phrases and words becoming standard idioms or being reused due to his cultural standing. Although Shakespeare might have been the first person written down using a word, but he didn't always invent it. So next is the purposes of the study. The study explores how different types of media use, like social media, TV, books, relate to people's well-being, such as happiness and stress levels, using a new or more advanced method called multivariate modeling. So next, material will be presented by Nafi.
Okay, thank you, Novel. So the key point is a multi-iterative approach. Unlike older studies that only look at one media type at a time, this study analyzed several media types together to better understand their combined effect on well-being. And then there's no single type of media is entirely good or bad for well-being. People often different types of media for different needs, and these choices are interconnected. The impact of media use depends on the user goals and the context. Okay. And why it matters? Because this approach gives a more accurate picture of how media affect our mental and emotional health by considering the full mix of media in our daily life. So the conclusion is to understand how media use affect well-being, we need to consider the whole picture, not just individual platforms or device. The study promotes a shift towards analyzing media use as part of a larger system of behaviors. Okay, thank you. Thank you for today. That's all for us. Thank you for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Nafi. Thank you for presenting. You may stop recording.
Thank you, ma'am.